groove.
Yeah, great
everybody
looking crowd here today.
Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell for Corey Backlund and Dave Brown, and we're ready to go with another big USWA show. We know we got a lot of things to expect, but we've also learned over the years that there's a lot of things that we never expected to happen right here with us.
Isn't that the truth? And should today be any different? We got lots of action coming up here today.
I'll tell you one thing, the situation that has developed between PG-13 and Rich and Gilbert and Gorgeous George III and all has got to come to an end. We have had everything in the world happen on it, and finally, I think, Dave, they got maybe a solution to reaching an equitable agreement and settle this doggone.
Well, I hope so, because we've had ink thrown in eyes, we've had backs painted, the mothers have gotten involved in the thing, all of that.
We had one of the mothers decked in the ring, as a matter of fact, you know, that kind of stuff. It's time to call it to a halt, and I think they've got the idea. How about a 12-foot cage that you can't get in and you can't get out of it? And, brother, there is one right there that has proven exactly that. You can't get in it. You can't get the overload of numbers on one side or the other.
That's right. Yeah, you know, from time to time, one of those teams has been known to try to get a numbers advantage. Well, with the 12-foot cage, they're not going to be having people climb in there and interfere like that either.
We got a bunch today,
Let me tell you about some of the folks that are going to be here. We've got a grudge match, J.C. Ice against Gorgeous George III. They want Rich and Gilbert, but they also want Gorgeous George III. J.C. Ice with the match here today. USWA title is going to be at stake. Brian Christopher against the Spellbinder in that one. Following that, well, not following that, but a little bit later on, superstar Bill Dundee will be here. He'll be talking about a special match he's got coming up with Brian Christopher, too.
And we've got Miss Texas here today, and Cyrus and Bones have a new manager and a new friend. That's bad news right off the bat, I can tell you.
And we've got the return of David Haskins. Lots of wrestling fans will know David, and also he's got a friend with him, too. Former NFL player Marcus Dupree. We'll tell you all about that a little bit later on.
What a great running back. Hey, I'll tell you what we better do. We got all of that. We better get to it. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hot jiggity, we're ready to go on opening bout today on USWA Championship Wrestling. It is a Sunshine Heavyweight title bout right here today. Special television time for this bout. Before we do, Reggie be fine making his way over to the side. Here's Lance and Dave with Reggie.
Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie, we got a match here.
Yeah, we got a title match coming up here, Reggie. We'll be talking to you later on. Why don't you just wait and make it another time?
You look mighty nice today, brother. You look mighty nice. I got something on my mind, man.
You must.
Last week I had a match with the Spellbinder. You know, I ain't got no beef. We ain't got no beef with each other, nothing, man. I thought he was my boy. You know, I thought we was cool. We ride up and down the highway together. So the promoters put us in a match together. So cool, you know, I agreed, he agreed. I was in that match for 10 seconds, man. Soon that referee checked us and turned around, man, bust me in the head with something, man.
It'll happen, you know, the people you hang out with.
But I ain't going out like that, man. I'm not going out like that, man. I'm sick and tired of this, man. I've been around here for 6 or 7 years, man, doing the same old thing. There's going to be a new attitude around here. You watch what I tell you, man.
New attitude for Reggie?
Ain't no secret. It's a real deal, man. Look at my eyes. Do it look like I'm laughing or look like I'm playing?
No, I'll give you that.
Spellbinder. You know, I thought we was cool, man. I ain't never think he'll do me like that, man.
Well, he's coming out for a match right here. Now, you guys just keep your distance.
I ain't gonna do nothing to him. I'm cool, man. I'm gonna wait my time. I got plenty of time to get him.
Okay, Reggie. Well,
you don't mind if I hang out out here?
I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear you've got a different attitude. Let's go back up to Corey and finish these introductions.
We're ready for this sanctioned USWA heavyweight title bout. Special television time today, 1 fall, 30-minute time limit. First introducing at a weight of 271 pounds, wrestling from Fantasy Island, the challenger, the Spellbinder. And his opponent, the USWA heavyweight champion, 222 pounds. There he is, too sexy, Brian Christopher. Christopher. 1 fall, 30-minute time limit, a special television time for the sanctioned USWA title bout. Bill Rush, the referee, to Lance Russell and Dave Brown.
Okay, we got it. USWA title match coming up. Too Sexy Brian Christopher defending against the Spellbinder.
Brian wearing that belt around his waist. Referee Bill Rush waiting for Brian's warm-up jacket to be handed out to security. And there is the championship belt, which we will bring over here for safekeeping, I think.
You'll pardon me if I'm still a little nervous, Reggie, with you hanging around behind me. I'm not sure I like that all right.
I ain't gonna do no wrong, no harm. I'm just here for a reason, you understand? Not for a season. But you know what, though, Lance? Last week, I wasn't expect. I was in a 6-man last week. And I wasn't expect to win that 6-man last week.
That's true. I got to congratulate you. That was a big win.
And what happened, though? Spellbinder jumped me from behind, man. And, man, beat me real. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, he was strong. You better watch what you're doing, boy. You better keep your eyes on Brian. That's what you better do, boy.
Oh, Reggie's right there. This is a championship match. Spellbinder better pay attention to the champion.
Brian Christopher spewed right out of that corner and halfway across the ring. And Spellbinder still joying with Reggie over here. I don't think he has the complete significance of the fact this is a USWA title match with Brian Christopher. He's turning around, can't get his attention off of Reggie. You got his attention, Reggie, I'll say that.
Well, one thing I know for sure, he better keep his eyes on Brian, because I done felt one of them super kicks before. And that's all it takes, one kick, and that's it. He out. Be a long time before you get another one.
Reapers! Big top kick from the champion. Brian Christopher talking about being in your face. He got in Spellbinder's face and ended up ripping him with a right hand.
Come on, John.
Well, they're awful close over here.
Referee Bill Rush starts a count on him, and that gets him back in the ring.
You better pay attention to your match, boy.
Christopher keeping his eye on Spellbinder, no doubt about that. And now the Spellbinder wants to go with a little test of strength. Put your hands up here. What are you, chicken? Just grab a hold of me.
I wouldn't trust him, man. But you know what, last week, I couldn't believe how the fans were behind me. I need to change my attitude. I really, really need to change my attitude. There's some good people in this world.
I was shocked at that myself, Reggie, to hear the fans hollering for Reggie be fine. But they did. Beautiful monkey flip, and Christopher takes the Spellbinder back across the ring. Going down into his tights.
See, that's what he's good for.
And nails Christopher right on the back of the neck.
See, that's the same thing that happened to me, man. But mine was just faster.
Ripped him with a right hand. Scoop, slam, and Christopher goes down. There's that somersault splash right on top of Brian.
Yeah. Hey, boy, ain't nothing separating us but fresh air. And you about to get your hair real dirty.
And again, Spellbinder rips him with that right. Christopher caught with an elbow. Dropped him down. You're a long way from having that belt, my friend. There's a cover, 1, 2. No, he wasn't but 1 count away from it, as a matter of fact, Dave.
He was very close. Big, powerful wrestler in the Spellbinder, but a smart one right there. Moved out of the way and let the Spellbinder just hit the mat.
Spellbinder hammered it into the top turnbuckle, and look at the champion coming back. I'll tell you, you start wagging your mouth and tongue with this guy, and he will be back on you. Catches the foot. There it is.
That's all it takes right there, baby.
Boy, he nailed him with that side kick right flush on the side of the jaw. Spellbinder staggering, but comes up swinging something in his hand.
Yeah, he had a chain wrapped around his hand. I could see it. We popped Brian with it when Brian turned and came back toward him. Reggie up to the ring.
Brian Christopher rolls up behind him, takes him into a pin. 1, 2, 3, and that is what we're talking about, keeping your mind on business. The winner, Brian Christopher, still holding on to the USWA title.
You know, over the years, we've made a lot of fun of Reggie about being outsmarted in matches. We've seen it happen time and time again. He just outsmarted the Spellbinder right there. Oh, Spellbinder jumping him down here on the floor.
Throws Reggie back up in the ring.
Reggie's been challenging the Spellbinder throughout the match from over here. Spellbinder just nailed him with a fist to the top of the head. There's Spellbinder, defeated in the match by Brian Christopher. Look at this. Reggie nails him. A Spellbinder turned around, and now Spellbinder decides time to get out of the ring. Whoa.
We got to take time out here, Davey. We'll be back with action in just a moment. One of our favorite spots, USWA Flashback.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's a double purpose this week because where we're going is back to 1987, Jerry Lawler and Austin Idol in a cage match. So it'll give everybody a look at that big cage that keeps them out and keeps them in. Let's take a look. Calhoun, Idol trying to kick the chain loose over there, dangerously going at it. And the ref, oh, look at this, Lawler right behind Idol, grabs him, slams him into the door. You want it, you got it. And Idol running from Lawler, trying to get out the door, making no headway. Oh, hey, we're back.
Quick one.
Yeah.
That cage is also, though.
I loved it. I want to tell you, that was some great match, and it did give you a look at the cage in there. Well, here they come. I know they got to be really proud of themselves. Doug Gilbert, Tommy Rich laughing. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. You guys got to really be proud of yourself.
Yeah, we're proud, Lance Russell. Let me tell you how things really are in this world.
Hey, let me tell you before you start telling me, and that is these two guys knew they were going to get beat, knew they were going to lose a hair, and they had you set up back there ready to come in on that hair.
Okay, Lance Russell, as you know, this is our interview time, and I'm not going to stand out here and listen to your old miserable, decrepit, ancient butt say anything about me, so why don't you...
Hey, if that's all you've got to say, why don't you just finish it right now?
You might ought to keep your mouth shut before I cut your hair right out here.
All right.
Why don't you keep... Why don't you keep your biased opinions to yourself and let me say what I've got to say? Now, see, PG-13, 6 long weeks ago, myself and Tommy Rich walked right out here and said we would be your World Tag Team Champions. And for 6 weeks have we been them, Lance Russell.
You've had the belts, yes, no question about it.
Jamie Dundee, Wolfie D, you sit in your dressing room and you cry. Boys, every morning for the last month, I've got up and I've fought with reality. Reality is a lot harder to fight with than you two street punks. You don't even belong in the same ring with myself or Tommy Rich. Right, Tommy?
You know what it amounts to, Lance Russell? You're just like every one of these stinking rednecks out here. Jamie Dundee, Wolfie D, you gotta hide behind your mama's coattail, boy. What we're talking about is just like Brother said. It's like the major leagues and the minor leagues. You know, they moved them minor league boys up to major league ball, but they can't play the game like the big boys do. Well, Jamie Dundee, Wolfie D, y'all put yourself in that position. So what it's coming down to, we've shaved your head, we beat you for the belt, we've done every stinking thing we said we was gonna do. So what we're talking about now, Lance Russell, the people in Memphis, all over the area, you take heed, because they're going down.
Yeah, well, I want to tell you one thing about it. You went for the eye, you cut the ponytail, you hit Wolfie's mother. Don't say you know. What do you mean, hold it?
First of all, Lance Russell, don't you tell us anything. You can ask us, and let me make it real clear so everybody out in TV land can understand. What you're looking at right here is 3 main event caliber wrestlers anywhere in the world. What you're looking at when you look at PG-13 is 2 preliminary job boys who's tried to make a name for themselves, wrestling great stars like and see what have they done, Lance Russell. Let me tell you, they come through us trying to show their manhood. Well, boys, you don't walk through us. Nobody does, and nobody ever will. But when it gets down to that, Lance Russell, what did they do? They're mama's boys. You went home and you got your mama. Well, boys, you could bring 300 mamas. You can bring every one of your daddies. But the same thing is going to happen. And my man right here, the 3rd man of this trio, is just liable to finish J.C. Ice's career.
Yeah, well, he's going to have the chance.
No. Last week, we took their hair. This week, we're going to take your career.
Let me remind you of one thing. When you're inside that cage, nobody gets in. There won't be loading up with him.
So that means their soul is ours as long as we want it, Lance.
Hey, they're not afraid of you. All right, you better get in there and look out for him. Let's go up to Corey right now.
Okay, Lance, we're ready for our next bout here on USWA Championship Wrestling. Hey, stop spraying that stuff. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit for this next bout. First introducing 239 pounds, wrestling from Hollywood, California. Here's the grandson of Gorgeous George. Here's Gorgeous George the Third with Big Business Brown in his corner. His opponent, making his way to the ring area, wrestling from the hood, 1/2 of PG-13, J.C. Ice. 1 ball, 10 minutes in time.
J.C. Ice wastes no time hitting the ring, grabbing Gorgeous George third. He's seen enough of him in the match earlier in the week, and he wants him. Out of the ring goes Gorgeous George third. Oh, he hurt my back. He surprised me. He jumped me from behind. Big Business Brown there checking him out. J.C. Ice waiting in the ring, a look of determination on his face.
He hadn't forgotten any part of it. He knows Gorgeous George III was a part of all of this thing with Rich and Gilbert, and he's in there to try to settle it up. No, they haven't forgotten him for 1 minute. Into the ropes he goes. Big shoulder. J.C. hops over him, reverses. Nice hip toss. Took him down. Look at the drop kick. J.C. Ice fired up, ready to go. Gorgeous George III seeing all of it, and here comes Tommy Rich. What are you doing out here now? We don't need that. He got a 1 count on him.
Lance, while I was watching this match, you know, I was sitting back there thinking, you talk about cage matches. Well, you seen that little highlight of Jerry Lawler and Austin Idol? You remember that's the only time Lawler ever had his head shaved, wasn't it?
I remember.
So, you know, we're kind of like gamblers. We always got our ace in the hole. So what I'm saying, Jamie Dundee and Wolfie D, they might ought to talk to Jerry Lawler and make sure they won't even be in this match.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that they will, and you're bringing up memories that are pretty painful because it shows the kind of stuff you, Steve, do. What? Got a 2 count, Gorgeous George III. He can wrestle. Now, there's no question about it. You look at all the trappings, Dave, and it kind of throws you off because he can flat wrestle.
Yep, there's no doubt about that. He's proven it right here, going against one of the toughest guys around in J.C. Ice, part of PG-13. Gorgeous George III, round behind him, rolls the shoulders down. Whoa, that was a nice move, and it almost worked. Ooh, got him right in the throat, didn't he?
held a lot of high school state championships, and he came within one match of making it to the Olympic wrestling team. Gorgeous George III, but has facing not necessarily the greatest credentials in terms of amateur wrestling, but he's got a guy who's as determined as anybody we've ever seen. JC whipped into the ropes, leaps over, comes back off, pounds into the chest, hooks the leg, 1, 2, and the shoulder came up. Look at Big Business.
Yep, Big Business Brown up on the ring apron. JC Ice nails him. Gorgeous George got him from behind, though. JC rolling him down, shoulders on the mat, count is 1, 2, and a 2 count is broken. Tommy Rich has jumped into the ring. That's going to do it. That's a disqualification, but now it's 2 against 1.
Wolfie D hammering away, and now Doug Gilbert hits the ring. Everybody's out.
3 against 2 now. That's why we need a 12-foot cage around the ring to keep things like that from happening, where Rick and then Gilbert can come in and jump in and interfere in the match. What started out as a 1 against 1 ends up with a disqualification because of outside interference. Tell you what, PG-13 ran them out of there too. Maybe it's the team of Rich and Gilbert that need to reconsider whether they want to be in there inside a 12-foot cage or not.
We're going to take time out and be back for it. Last time I talked to PG-13, it was right after you had the hair match with Rich and Gorgeous George III. You had lost the match, lost your hair. I asked you, Wolfie, were you sorry you signed the match? You turned right around and signed a match. Rich and Gilbert put up the title, sure. But you guys agreed to leave the USWA for 5 years. That's a lot of history.
Lance Russell, I know that's true. But if I didn't have confidence in myself and this man standing next to me, I would have never signed it. And that's why in a steel cage, when it's 2-on-2, just PG-13 and just Rich and Gilbert, nobody can get in, Lance. Nobody can get out.
You lost your hair last time, Wolfie and JC. Your hair was clipped. I don't have to tell you.
Lance, I know that. But what I'm saying is that in a 2-on-2 predicament, PG-13 can beat them. There's no way in the world that another man's going to get in there and another man's going to cause us to lose. That's why I know that my best friend in the whole world and myself are going to beat him inside a steel cage, Lance.
Well, it's going to be a tough match, no doubt about that, Jason.
You know, Lance Russell, if by some small chance we do lose, the men that we are, we will pack up our bags and leave for 5 years. But 5 years is a mighty long time when you got to go pack up your family and find another place to eat. JC Ice has been in a predicament where my father has come home and woke me up out of bed and said, we got to move across country because we can't wrestle here no more because I lost a match. And JC Ice wouldn't do that to his family for all the tea in China. So what I'm telling you, come this week, when JC Ice and Wolfie D climb in the cage, and we beat you, Rich and Gilbert, 1, 2, 3, we'll be sitting high on the mountain of love, because we will be the champion.
Recently, we had an exciting action piece that took place, and that was that triple threat, double elimination, triple challenge match with Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, Brian Christopher. Let's take a look at some of the action that took place. If you win this, it's got to take something out of you, a bunch, because they're right now, Corey, over 12 minutes, and it's been hard go all the way.
That's exactly right, and there's a fresh Bill Dundee awaiting the loser of this thing.
And the best thing that could, he snaps the strap. Blocks that right hand and scores with his own right. Down goes Christopher. Lawler. Snap that strap down. And pounds it into Bill Rush, the referee. The referee goes down. Lawler bumped his head. Rush is down flat on his face. And Lawler They're trying to get the referee up. Christopher rips him. I believe he had something on his hand, Corey.
He sure did. Had a big chain. 3, that's all she wrote, Lance.
With Christopher and the one starting with Dundee. 1. Whoa, 2 count.
Close, real close. That is a great point, Lance, but the Lawler got a chance to get himself together while they were trying to find a chain on Christopher. He must have got 2 or 3 minutes rest period.
Yeah, if they had gone right at it, bang, and rung the bell without the argument in there, and the referee trying...
Could have been a disadvantage.
Absolutely. He might never have even lasted this long in there. He now has 1 elimination. And Dundee ripping him with the right hand. And Lawler rolls him off. 1, 2, 3. He got him, Corey. He got him in 1 minute, 30 seconds. As Dundee and Christopher battling out in what is the 3rd fall of the evening. Whoa! And there's that Sabat kick. Brian Christopher caught him right upside the jaw, and this may be all for Dundee. He loses this one, he's all through. Christopher on top, misses as he comes sailing off. Dundee's got him. 1, 2, 3. Back in the ring, and Lawler certainly turned the tide right there. Christopher had come back from that knee being brutalized, got Lawler from the top turnbuckle with a double axe handle after kicking him in the face. And again, Christopher throws him off, and Lawler, poor Bill Rush, Corey, he's taking 2 tough poundings there.
Yeah, over 30 minutes into this entire triple threat double elimination. Rush refereeing the whole thing, and it's 2 or 3 times now. He's been knocked out again. Christopher with the chain. Lawler duck. Bull driver. And referee Bill Rush catches him. And Lawler disqualified. Jerry Lawler disqualified. It is the 2nd loss for the King. Therefore, he's eliminated. Lawler eliminated from the triple threat challenge.
And the longer it goes on, the more I'm beginning to think. Oh, and again, there's that Sabat kick right to the mouth, and Dundee's down. The longer it goes on, more I'm thinking it's to Christopher's advantage. There is no question that youth has... They hit the referee, Bill Rush, again, and down he goes.
Well, what happened there, Lance, is more of an accident there. I don't think it was on purpose. Christopher reached back to hit Dundee and caught Rush with the elbow. Dundee's got that bullwhip. Catches Christopher. Jabs him in the throat with that thing. Rolls him up. 2. Dundee winner.
4 minutes, 59 seconds. The winner is superstar Bill Dundee. Brian Christopher grabs the whip, and he's throwing it at Bill Dundee. 4:59, and Christopher wraps it around the neck. Dundee just got it loose as Christopher, who doesn't have the expertise with that belt, with that whip, that Bill Dundee had, and he is furious.
Well, man, it really got wild there. I think Brian Christopher felt things were going his way, but Bill Dundee, on a roll not to be denied, ends up winning. But then the bullwhip made its appearance, and now there are 2 bullwhips making their appearance out here. Here comes Bill Dundee headed this way. Bill, now wait a minute. Wait, let's put those away. I want to remind you that we've got this interview for you, but fines and suspensions are a possibility, so don't want anything going on out here today, all right?
I understand that. And I know there's a lot of Brian Christopher fans out there, just like there's Jerry Lawler fans, but there's an awful lot of Bill Dundee ones. Now, if some of you was a little small a few years ago, ask your grandma, ask your mother, or ask your big brother or your sister what this bullwhip can do. Now, that looked real easy, 1 in each hand. I'm sure everybody says, oh, I can do that. Well, boys, just go try it sometime. Now, Christopher, I was quite happy to wrestle you, and all I was really doing was trying to test your manhood. And you have jumped up at every occasion. And I think it's just like PG. And they're getting all tied up in emotions with Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert. They're in cage matches and hair matches, and they're losing them. You know why they're losing them? Because they're letting their head and their emotions run everything. You got to think, boys. I've told you for 20 years, wrestling is like physical chess. You wait till the other guy makes a mistake and you capitalize on it. And I did that with Jerry Lawler, and that makes me the world's champion. Now, boy, I was real happy just to beat you, and it would have been all over last week. But you had to go and let your emotions run wild, pick up a bullwhip, and try to whip the tar out of me. Well, son, I grew up with bullwhips, like I've told you before. I grew up in Australia on a cattle station. You use a bullwhip there. Then I joined the circus, didn't really join, I run away. And I worked on a circus, and I trained the elephants there, and you have a bullwhip there. And I'm very good with one, son, and I don't mind telling you that, because I practiced. And if you don't believe me, get hold of Jimmy Dundee and ask him how many times he's put a cigarette in his mouth, and I've taken it out. Well, there's no cigarettes in the mouth this week, kid, because you got me mad now. So come on out here, because I don't want people to say that this is unfair. I don't want people to say that Brian Christopher couldn't use a bullwhip and Bill Dundee could. Because make no mistake, son, I can. And I'm going to whip the tar out of you. And if you ever find Dutch Mantell, ask him. Because it hurts, boy. It hurts real bad. So come on out here. And there'll be no... I know.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, Brian is headed this way, but I want to repeat what I told you a little bit earlier with those bullwhips out here. That's a dangerous thing. And I don't want anything going on while they're here. Brian, I've already told him fines and suspensions if you two guys start anything with these bullwhips out here.
I got a pocket full of money. It may be worth the fine to whoop you, but that's not what this is about. I'm going to be real fair, Brian, because like I told you, you're a great athlete. I've never sold you short of nothing. But you can't use a bullwhip, so you take this one and take it home and practice with it all week. Yeah, see what I mean? You'd like to hit me right now, wouldn't you? Well, I'm going to leave you this little thing, but you better practice with that. But before I go, can I ask you one question?
Yeah, Dundee, you can ask me something, but you can't tell me nothing.
All right, like that. Well, maybe you can read it. Read what it says on the back of this shirt, son. If you can read, you read what it says.
Yeah, I can read that. Losing is very bad.
That's right, and that's what you're going to do, punk, and you've signed the wrong kind of man.
Well, Brian, before you get started, I do want to show you a tape. I know you don't have the experience with these things that Bill does. Take a look at this video right here showing Bill Dundee in action against Dutch Mantell. They had a bullwhip match, and this is just some of what happened.
Stomach with a handle of it. He pitched Dundee right into referee Jerry Calhoun. Whoa.
All right, the ropes are down, and Bill Dundee with that bullwhip working on Dutch Mantell. Both of them some experience with the bullwhip. Dutch, I think wrestling fans know, has carried Shoe Baby around for a long, long time. And Dundee, with the explanation here just moments ago about the cattle station in Australia, the use of the bullwhip. But you saw there, the ropes are down, and it's just you two guys with the bullwhips.
Dave, that is fine and that is dandy with Brian Christopher, because Bill Dundee for weeks has come up with special matches. And every time he's come up with them, Brian Christopher has been there. And you know, last week, he's the one that brought that bullwhip into the ring. And then what happened, Dave? What happened? I ended up having it in my hand, and I ended up whipping him all over the Mid-South Coliseum. Wherever it may have been, Bill Dundee, I'm the one that whipped all them wrinkles off your old, decrepit back. You call yourself the world heavyweight champion. You tell me you've got all this experience with a bullwhip. You've done it on farms. You've done it in the circus. Well, you might have whipped some cows on the farm, but I'm no cow. I'm Brian Christopher, and that means I'm going to have this bullwhip in my hand, and I'm going to whip you right back. You might have had some experience in a circus, Dundee, but believe me, the only time you ever been in a circus is when you were a sideshow freak. The man with 2 sets of teeth, a little bit in his mouth, and the rest in a jar. So get ready, Bill Dundee. Whatever match you come up with, bullwhip versus bullwhip, believe me. You hear that, Bill Dundee? You see that, Bill Dundee? That's what you got to look forward to. Because I'm going to be practicing. I'm going to practice every chance I get, and I can't wait till I see all your flesh flying off your old body, and then that blood is just dripping off you, Dundee, because that's going to put a big smile on Brian Christopher's face.
It's going to be a dangerous match, I want to tell you. We're going to be back here with more action in a moment. Stay with us.
Attention fans, now you can order the official USWA collectibles that have only been available at the arenas. Official USWA apparel, videotapes, plus many, many more items that are favorites among the fans. For your free catalog, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to USWA Collectibles, Post Office Box 1783, Hendersonville, Tennessee 37077. Get your catalog today.
Hey, we got a match coming up here just moments from now. The Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones with some newfound friends, it looks like. Jack Hammer and Diamond Mike.
Well, you know, Dave Brown, big business had a lot of other things to do. So we went out and we found one of the premier managers in the business, Diamond Mike. And I'm going to tell you something right now before we get started anything else. Moondogs, we've had it up to here with you. We have beat you in the alleys. We have beat you in the ring. We have beat you in the backyard. Well, now, brother, we have a little surprise for you. Diamond Mike is going to take us all down to Paradise City, baby, where the grass is green and girls are pretty. And Jack Hammer, he's the man, baby. Jack Hammer said, hey, baby, we're back. Right here, baby, the Reverend Diamond Mike. That's it, the original Mr. Leisure Time. Well, baby, there's not only a new sheriff in town, there's a new judge, jury, and, baby, executioners. So, Moondogs, watch out, baby. I got the big man, the ninth wonder of the world. And now, baby, the ultimate ride on the wild side. It's the Reverend Diamond Mike, baby, taking you to paradise.
Well, it's a pairing that could very well be dangerous. Diamond Mike signing on along with Jack Hammer with Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones. We've got a match right here. Let's head them to the ring and get it underway.
Nirvana, baby.
All right, Nirvana, stand by ringside with them there.
Here now in USWA Championship Wrestling. First introducing at a combined weight of 404 pounds from Millington, Tennessee, Charlie Laird. And his partner from Memphis, Tennessee, Ken Raper. Their opponents today in a combined weight of 587 pounds from the open roads of the USA, Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones. Bill Rush, your official referee for this one. 1 ball, 10-minute time limit. Diamond Mike in the corner, Lance and Dave.
All right, Diamond Mike over in the corner with that pineapple cooler that he has with him. But also he has Jack Hammer in here. I don't like that.
Yeah, if you got to carry something around, I believe I'd carry Jack Hammer. It'll protect you a little bit more than that pineapple he's got. Whoa! Quick cover by Ken Raper. Got a 1 count, tags Charlie Laird, who drops with the elbow on Crusher Bones. Crusher, belly to back, and drops Laird down hard. Got him by the hair, tags Big Daddy Cyrus.
I'm not sure Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones needed the help of Diamond Mike and Jack Hammer. They have been pretty awesome themselves in matches in the USWA. They're a powerful team. There's a cover, count of 2. I'm not sure if Charlie was able to break the cover or if Big Daddy picked him up, but it was just a 2 count.
2 count.
Confirmed by the referee.
Charlie Laird takes a double elbow from the team of Cyrus and Bones. 1, 2, 3.
That's over. My goodness. Well, I tell you what, the action continues here. We need to take a break, and we'll be back with you in a moment.
Quickly, I want to welcome back David Haskins before he hits the ring up there. David, glad to have you back.
It's great to be back, Lance. You know, I grew up right here in the USWA. It's like a dream come true. I brought a little surprise friend of mine. I brought a guy, all the wrestling fans might want to meet him. He's the newest Memphis Pharaoh, a football superstar, Marcus Dupree. Let's give him a big hand.
Marcus, welcome aboard. Here's a guy at Oklahoma. All you got to mention Marcus Dupree. He's the only freshman that ever won the rushing title in his freshman year, tied the touchdown record. I could go on and on. Marcus, I love to see this. Memphis Pharaohs arena football. It's sweeping the country, and we're tickled to death.
Well, it's going to be an exciting football league, and I'm just honored to be a part of it, and I'm just glad to be up here in Memphis.
Well, hey, I got to ask you one thing, David, before your match gets underway. There's been ESPN. It's been on all the publicity around. They got a match coming up with Bam Bam Bigelow going against the great former New York Giant, Lawrence Taylor. How do you feel about that footballer and the wrestler?
Well, I don't know that much about Bam Bam Bigelow, but I do know something about Lawrence Taylor. I played against him in the NFL, and he's a powerful guy. He's a relentless guy, and I know Bam Bam Bigelow is going to have a big problem with
No, it won't be any pushover.
It won't be a pushover. I promise you that.
Marcus Dupree, we got to go to the ring. What?
Control it. This ain't no football. You can't. This is not professional football. You know, I had a contract. I could have played pro ball. My agent couldn't get things hooked up. So, brother, we're not out here with pads. We're not out here with helmets. We're not out here with mouthpieces. This is professional wrestling.
Okay, Big Daddy, we got a match coming up. Thanks for coming and paying us a bit. Marcus, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. David, good luck to you in there. Let's go to Corey.
Lance, we're ready to go with it, buddy. Here our last bout here today on USWA Wrestling. To the expiration of our time, first introducing at 235 pounds. Hey. Well, look like we won't get the introduction. It's David
Corey able to get out of the ring. Boy, when a jackhammer jumped in the ring, he threw that thing, whatever that shoulder apparatus he had. Oh, no. Here comes Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones. That's going to be a disqualification right there. Can't even get a single match going.
Can't you control those guys? Jackhammer dropping down. Crusher Bones. Cyrus right behind.
Well,
you get him out of here.
Unfortunately, we're looking at that kind of management with Diamond Mike.
Oh, you guys are swell.
This is not professional football. This is pro wrestling.
We've had
You
it.
better take a drink.
You just better get on out of here. We don't need any of it. Marcus up there trying to help David out. We're leaving right now. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back. Oh, you know, I got to tell you, Dave, when we get all that craziness going on in here with guys like Cyrus and Bones and Diamond Mike and Jackhammer and everybody screaming and hollering and they're jumping 3-on-1, irritates me.
Oh, well, me too. And you got to watch yourself because you know what all's going on
Yeah.
there. We had quite a day, not only with that today, we also had Brian Christopher successfully defending his USWA title.
And Spellbinder.
Many other things going on in the USWA.
Hey, a lot of things going on in USWA. And what do you say we check it out? Oh, and the shoulder came up. Look at Big Business.
Yep, Big Business Brown up on the ring apron. J.C. Ice nails him. Gorgeous George got him from behind, though. J.C. rolling him down, shoulders on the mat, count is 1, 2, and a 2 count is broken. Tommy Rich has jumped into the ring. That's going to do it. That's a disqualification, but now it's 2 against 1.
Wolfie D hammering away, and now Doug Gilbert hits the ring. Everybody's out.
3 against 2 now. That's why we need a 12-foot cage around the ring to keep things like that from happening, where Rich and then Gilbert can come in and jump in and interfere in the match. What started out as a 1 against 1 ends up with a disqualification because of outside interference. Corey able to get out of the ring. Boy, when a jackhammer jumped in the ring, he threw that thing, whatever that shoulder apparatus he had. Oh, no. Here comes Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones. That's going to be a disqualification right there. Can't even get a single match going.
Can't you control those guys? Jackhammer dropping down. Crusher Bones. Cyrus right behind.
Well,
you get him
unfortunately,
out of here.
Unfortunately, we're looking at that kind of management with Diamond Mike.
Oh, you guys are swell.
This is not professional football. This is pro wrestling.
We got to get out of here. For Dave Brown, Corey Macklin, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.